Have you ever been with a woman you really liked and suddenly your confidence disappeared? You started overthinking every word. You wondered if you were attractive enough, if you were saying the right thing, if she was losing interest. Maybe you tried harder, you gave more attention, you chased more, and somehow the more you pushed, the less natural everything felt. You looked around and wondered what other men understood that you didn't. You saw men who seemed calm, relaxed, magnetic, men who didn't seem desperate for approval, men who could create chemistry without forcing anything. And you asked yourself the hardest question. What do they know that I don't? I'm here to tell you something important. You were never missing some magical secret. You were never missing some perfect line. You were never missing some impossible quality that only a few men are born with. And this is Dating Love Coded, where we uncover the real psychology that creates desire. And I'll warn you now, the final one is incredibly powerful. It can change everything fast, and almost no one uses it correctly, because attraction is not built through pressure. It is built through understanding. This was never your fault. Nobody taught you this. Most men were taught to focus on the outside, the appearance, the performance, the approval, the result. But attraction happens deeper. It happens through emotion. It happens through perception. It happens through the small signals that the subconscious notices before the logical mind even catches up. The problem was never that you were not enough. The problem was the sequence. You were trying to create connection before creating the emotional environment where connection can naturally grow. That changes everything. Human attraction has been studied through evolutionary psychology, neuroscience, and behavioral science. The human brain constantly scans for signals, safety, confidence, value, emotional stability, compatibility. The mind uses shortcuts, mental shortcuts. It does not analyze every single detail. It looks for patterns. When someone meets you, they are subconsciously asking questions. Does this person feel grounded? Does this person know who they are? Does this person bring peace or pressure? Does this person have a life beyond seeking approval? These signals matter. And when you understand them, you stop chasing reactions. You start creating experiences. You become the kind of man who does not need to convince someone of his value. His value is felt. The first trigger is masculine presence. Masculine presence is not about being the loudest person in the room. It is not about having the perfect body. It is not about pretending to be dominant. It is grounded energy. It is the ability to stay centered. A man with presence does not collapse when things become uncertain. He does not panic when a conversation slows down. He does not need constant reassurance. Imagine this. You are talking with someone you are attracted to. She gives a short answer. Maybe she seems distracted for a moment. The insecure reaction is immediate. You think, what did I do wrong? You start performing. You start trying to win. But grounded energy says something different. You stay calm. You smile. You continue being yourself. You allow space. That calmness creates emotional safety. Real strength is quiet. The strongest energy does not need to announce itself. The second trigger is emotional challenge. This is where many men misunderstand attraction. They think being attractive means always agreeing, always complimenting, always making someone comfortable. But chemistry needs polarity. It needs play. It needs emotional movement. A playful challenge is not disrespect. It is not manipulation. It is a moment where two people can reveal personality. Imagine she tells you she is extremely competitive. Instead of immediately saying, "That's amazing," you smile and say, "I have a feeling you become impossible to deal with when you lose." You are not attacking her. You are creating a playful moment. You are showing confidence. You are inviting energy. The goal is not to make someone feel small. The goal is to create a spark. Play creates connection. Pressure creates distance. The third trigger is selective attention. Your attention is valuable. Many men give unlimited access to their focus before someone has earned it. They reply instantly every time. They cancel their own plans. They make another person the center of their entire world. But attraction grows when someone sees that you already have a meaningful life. Selective attention means you care deeply without abandoning yourself. Imagine you have plans with friends. You have a workout routine. You have goals you're working toward. Someone you like messages you. You do not ignore them to create a fake image. You simply continue living your life. You respond when you genuinely have the space. Your life has direction. Your attention has purpose. That creates value. A man with purpose is naturally more interesting. If this is making sense so far, hit subscribe and join Dating Love Code community. It helps. More men learn what they were never taught. The fourth trigger is intentional listening. Most people listen while waiting for their turn to speak. They are preparing their next sentence. They are trying to impress. But deep connection comes from making someone feel seen. Intentional listening means remembering the details others forget. Maybe she mentioned a difficult meeting coming up. Maybe she talked about a childhood dream. Maybe she casually mentioned something that matters to her. Later, you remember. You ask about it not because you're trying to earn points, because you are actually paying attention. Imagine saying, "You mentioned that presentation you were nervous about. How did it go?" That simple sentence creates a powerful feeling. I was heard. People remember how you make them feel. Attention is emotional investment. Being seen is rare. The fifth trigger is calibrated vulnerability. A lot of men are taught that showing emotion is weakness. That is incomplete. The truth is more balanced. Strength is not pretending you never feel anything. Strength is being honest without losing yourself. Calibrated vulnerability means sharing real parts of you while remaining grounded. You do not turn someone into your therapist. You do not unload every insecurity immediately. You simply allow authenticity. Imagine talking about a challenge you faced. You say, "There was a time when I struggled with confidence, but I learned a lot from that period." Notice the difference. You are not asking someone to rescue you. You are showing growth. That creates trust. A man who can be real is powerful. A man who can be real and stable is unforgettable. The sixth trigger is gradual physical touch. Connection is not only built through words. Human beings also respond to appropriate physical closeness and positive touch. Research into bonding shows that respectful touch can influence feelings of connection through systems involving hormones like oxytocin, but the key word is respect, always. Physical connection should never be rushed. It should never be assumed. It should develop naturally through mutual comfort. Imagine a moment where you are laughing together. There is genuine warmth. You notice the energy is comfortable. A brief, respectful touch can communicate presence, but only when the other person is comfortable, only when it is welcomed. Real confidence includes awareness. Real attraction includes respect. The goal is not taking. The goal is mutual connection. The seventh trigger is controlled unpredictability. This is the one most people misunderstand. Unpredictability does not mean playing games. It does not mean disappearing to create anxiety. It means avoiding becoming completely predictable in a way that removes curiosity. The brain responds strongly to anticipation. Dopamine is connected to motivation, reward, and the excitement of possibility. When every moment is exactly the same, emotional energy can disappear. Imagine you usually meet for coffee. One day you suggest something different, a new place, a new experience, a new conversation, not because you are trying to impress, because you bring creativity. You create moments. Mystery is not hiding who you are. Mystery is allowing someone to discover more layers. A person becomes interesting when there is more to uncover. The final piece connects everything together, and this is where many men miss the entire point. The things people desire in connection about a single action. They are about the emotional experience created around it. The strongest attraction comes from a combination: presence, play, value, attention, authenticity, respect, curiosity. A man who understands this stops seeing attraction as a performance. He stops asking, "What can I do to make someone like me?" He starts asking a better question: "What kind of experience do I create when I show up?" That question changes your identity, because confidence is not something you fake. It is something you build. You build it by keeping promises to yourself. You build it by developing purpose. You build it by becoming emotionally stronger. You build it by understanding people instead of trying to control outcomes. And this is where many men finally experience a shift. They realize they were never supposed to become a different person. They were supposed to become a more complete version of themselves. The man who is calm, the man who listens, the man who leads his own life, the man who creates connection instead of begging for attention. Real tools, not tricks. Use them with respect and intention, because the goal is not manipulation. The goal is understanding. The goal is creating relationships where both people feel valued. You do not need perfection. You need strategy. You need awareness. You need patience. The moment you understand the hidden signals behind attraction, you stop moving from insecurity. You start moving from strength. And that changes the way you walk into every conversation, every date, every relationship. You become more intentional, more grounded, more confident, not because you learned how to pretend, because you learned how to understand. The man women genuinely desire is not the man who tries the hardest to be chosen. He is the man who has built a life worth joining. He has purpose. He has emotional control. He has warmth. He has standards. He knows his value. And when you understand that, something powerful happens. You stop chasing. You start attracting. If you're ready to stop chasing and start becoming the man women genuinely desire, subscribe to the Dating Love Coded now. Turn on notifications because the next one will shift your reality.